It's Keith Kalfas with Landscaping Employee Trap. In this video, I want to talk about red Hondas versus green Kawasaki's. What am I talking about? So check this out here. This plant. I'm at the office checking my mail. So I listened to this awesome motivational tape one time by a guy named Chris Brady. This is very powerful stuff here. And he's on stage and he's talking about when he was a teenager in the 80s, he used to race motocross, dirt bikes, right? And he was awesome at it and he won races all the time and it was his passion. He just guts and glory, right? And of all these kids that would race in the 80s, he was always winning on his red Honda. Everybody had red Hondas, but he was the most skilled. So he would win races because he would practice on the weekends. I mean, it was his obsession. Got my point? Okay, so sometime in the mid-80s, this new technology came out, and they were in the form of green Kawasaki's, okay? So everybody has red Hondas, but these new green Kawasaki's came out. The CCs on the engine, the tuning, they were just way faster, right? So a couple of the kids that were on the opposing, the race team or whatever, the opposing racers, got some of these green Kawasaki's. And they weren't even as good as Chris was in, his craft in racing. They weren't that good. But all of a sudden, they started winning the races. They started winning, and Chris was like, what the hell is going on? What the hell? So he was practicing harder, he was fighting harder, he was racing more aggressively and viciously and taking more chances, and he was not winning races anymore. And he was pulling his hair out and banging his head against the wall, and he kept trying and racing harder. And the kids that weren't even that good, that were on the new green Kawasaki's, were smoking the doors off everybody, and they were winning, right? So he kept banging his head against the wall, kept putting his nose to the grindstone, and he would try to tune up his red Honda. He would try to do things with the air and the tires. Every little thing he tried to do with his red Honda, no matter what he tried, he couldn't win a race. And it went on like this for months, right? What did he do? He finally said it must be the green Kawasaki's. It's got to be. There's nothing else. That's the common denominator here. So he finally gave up and he turned in and retired his old red Honda, and he bought one of the brand new green Kawasaki's. What happened? Immediately, the first race, he won first place, and then he won again and again, and he started winning races immediately and smoking the doors off those other kids that weren't even that good, because now he had the new green Kawasaki. Okay? New technology, new era, new age, upward trend. Okay, so here's the moral of the story. I'd use like gold. Gold is like an interesting precious metal commodity. I like silver and stuff like that. I collect some silver. But anyways, if you invest in gold or a stock when it's plummeting, it doesn't matter how smart you are, how good of a investor you are, how good you hope, how much you wish, you dream, or it doesn't matter how you feel. If you invest in gold when gold is plummeting, you're going to lose your money, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're going to lose your money. It's a matter of fact. The market doesn't care how you feel. Now, if you are like a flailing moron and you know nothing about gold, right? And I don't know, you could just be like a careless bum or whatever, and you have some money and you invest in gold when it's skyrocketing or a stock that's going up. It doesn't matter how you feel or what you think or how hard you try. You're going to make a whole bunch of money. Why? Because you invested in a stock or commodity or an upward trend that's going up. The trend is your friend. The trend is your friend. Here's the moral of the story in your small business. I want you to identify the things, the customers, we talked about the other day, market. I want you to identify the sectors of the market or places that are too far away or whatever it may be, or the services that you're offering, or maybe the modality in which you provide your service, or the modality of your communication, and identify the things that are not working and not making you money in 2017. And I want you to decrease the amount of which you do those things or stop them altogether. Number two, I want you to identify the things that work, that are making you money, and the things that you've done before in the past, or ways you've taken care of customers or services you provided that have made you money, and I want you to do more of those. And then begin to notice, also raise your prices. Begin to notice your profit margins could literally double overnight by simply making these distinctions and gaining clarity on what I'm talking about. So think about the red Honda versus the green Kawasaki. In what area of your business are you stuck on a red Honda? There's an amazing book by David Spencer called Who Moved My Cheese? This book's amazing. You gotta get this book. He talks about how, like a mouse in a labyrinth in a maze, there will be a piece of cheese in the corner, and the mice will go, they'll eat the cheese, and then when the cheese is gone, they look around and they leave. And then they'll go other places in the maze, and they'll just keep searching and searching and searching and searching till they find more cheese, or they don't. Usually they find more cheese somewhere else. But the one thing that they do not do, separate from what humans do, is mice do not sit in that corner banging their head against the wall saying, how come there's no cheese? The cheese, oh my God. They don't sit there and self-deprecate and beat themselves up and go insane because there's no cheese there anymore. Amazing book. Because there's no cheese there anymore, right? They hate their job, they hate their business, they hate what's going on, they hate that this customer. They don't do that. They go find cheese somewhere else. So read the book David Spencer, Who Moved My Cheese, and learn that the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. It's true. If you keep doing the same shit, you will get the same result. You're going to be the same exact place you were last year. Lawn Care Millionaire spoke about this. He says, he goes, this year it's going to be totally different. And then what happens? Things happen that start sucking you into those specific shapes and patterns. The same problems come up, and it's back to the same shit. Same shit, okay? I love Lawn Care Millionaire. But also, so red Honda, green Kawasaki, think about that story and start doing things in your business. Like me, I make the most money in window cleaning and tree trimming. That's just what I make the most money in, and those are the only things that I advertise. I don't advertise landscaping or landscape maintenance. I'm not giving you advice or anything. It's just what works for my business. When we got into window cleaning, all of my landscaping customers, a lot of them joined on, and we started cleaning their windows as well. So we used to do garden maintenance all the time like crazy, pulling people's weeds and all that stuff. I liked it because it was such high profit and low overhead because all it takes is labor to pull weeds. Well, guess what? It didn't take me long to figure out that I hate pulling weeds. And anybody who works for me hates pulling weeds. Some weeds are easy to pull. What are you talking about the easy pull? Some weeds are really crappy to pull, and you'll be sitting there forever doing it. So we don't even offer that service anymore unless it's part of a bigger project that's a higher dollar, higher profit. I don't even speak about that to customers. I don't advertising. I don't talk about it, right? Mulch is okay if it's, topsoil. I hate doing topsoil. I don't want anything to do with topsoil. We're not even doing topsoil anymore. And if we do, it's got to be enough to be able to rent out a machine or make me so much money that I like doing it. So jack up the prices on the things that you hate doing. I've had a video about this before. Jack up the price so high that if you do actually get that job, then you're happy doing it. But think about that. Think about the upward trend. Think about what makes money and stop doing stuff that doesn't make money in your business. The trend is your friend. And there are also things that you can get into that people make a ton of money. One last thing before I wrap this up. I got one friend who makes a whole bunch of money. I'm like, dude, man, how do you make so much, like, blah, blah, blah. Or how are you able to expand your business and do these things and drive this nice car or whatever? I was just asking questions, He looked at me, he goes like this, he goes, because I make a lot of money. I go, yeah, but how do you, he goes, because there's so much profit in what I do that I'm able to do all this, and I'm able to afford to make mistakes and all this. I go, yeah, but what about this? He goes, because there's so much profit in what I do that I make a lot of money. It's not fucking rocket science. Think about it. One last thing. Two guys, take same guy, Tom, clone him. Tom 1 and Tom number 2, same guy, same thoughts, same emotions, same life, same kids, same everything. Tom and Tom. Stick one Tom in a crappy $10 an hour job for 5 years and have a boss that yells at him and his job sucks, he hates his job, he's flat broke, he has nothing, and he's miserable because he doesn't make any money. Take Tom number 2, we're just talking about jobs. Throw him in a $150,000 a year job where he makes a lot of money. Same Tom, different job, way more money. Follow him for 5 years. In 5 years, that Tom, he will probably have his back straight and have high self-esteem. He'll be driving around in a BMW, who have a nice house, or whatever. I'm just, and then They'll have food on the table at Thanksgiving. There will be Christmas presents. They'll be going on vacations. And Tom will be like, dude, I love my life. I'm a successful Tom, right? While the other Tom hates himself and wants to stick a gun in his mouth. And he thinks that he's a piece of shit and he hates his life and he has low self-esteem. And his wife punches him in the nose and his kids hate him because he doesn't show up to soccer practice because he's working 90 hours a week. What happened? What's the difference? What's the fucking difference? The money. Only fucking difference. The beliefs and everything. Okay, and I'm not saying to worship money or money is everything. I'm just saying in the system that we live in, the monetary system, okay, and the commerce system that we live in is very, very controlled by these specific things, okay? And we live in a culture that reinforces over and over and over and over, like hitting over the head with a batter ram, saying if you don't have these things or you don't make this amount of money and you can't afford these things, then you are of lower status, okay? Now, like I said in a previous video, you can't win in this world. You can't get anything in this world because, you know, it's fleeting. It's Paul in the Bible said, that which is seen doth not come from that which does appear, right? It comes from a different place. So I'm done with this video. What up, it's Keith Kalfas, landscape employee trap. That was 11 and a half minutes, man. Hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments below. I gotta check my mail and get some work done. Dude, I've been up since 3:30 in the morning. I'm grinding, son. Also, I don't know if I should say this on this channel. I have to put out this quick disclaimer. Please do not call my business line. Dude, I love you, and I would love to talk to you in person, but I just can't. So this internet thing is getting about 500,000 views a month, and 200 to 300 people are contacting me a day on social media. 30 to 40 people a day are calling my business line and filling up my voice mailbox with messages, wanting free advice, free consultations, wanting just to talk to me, wanting to get me into deals and things like that. And dude, I think this is cool, right? But at the same time, it's affecting my actual business, and it's so much to deal with. I don't even have the skill set to deal with these amount of requests. So if I haven't gotten back to you or I haven't answered a comment or question or anything around Facebook, I promise you, like, I do get to read most of the comments, and I'm like, dude, I've only got 32,000 subscribers. I couldn't imagine what it'd be like to have like 1 million subscribers. That'd be crazy. But trust me, dude, I really, really care, and I see your comments. And if you call my business line, I've found a way to counteract this. I used to do free consultations and talk to people on the phone. It was not healthy for my business or my life or my marriage or anything, because I couldn't do it for free. My time is valuable just like yours, right? But so I've set up a one-on-one consultation call with me. I'll put a link in the description below. It costs money. I'm sorry, that's just the way that it has to be. But if you want to talk to me in person one-on-one, I'd love to talk to you. It'll set you up to a calendar link, and I will get notified, and then we can talk on the phone. And I'd like to talk to you. I do life coaching and stuff like that, or I could also coach you wherever you're at in your business, and I promise it'll be revolved around you. It'll be 100% confidential and completely revolved around you. Cool. Thank you, and peace.